And within 5 years, we were back at the Omega Institute screening our first film, In Search of the Future, What Do the Wise Ones Know? And we'd been to South Africa, where Andrew's from, and had spent time with the Bushmen of the Kalahari that Andrew had known, and we were welcomed into their hearts and their homes. And we also interviewed various elders whom we'd known for 20 to 40 years. So they're saying amazing stuff in our film, things they don't normally say, and scientists and futurists. So that was our first film that premiered in 2007 at the Harmony Festival. And so we're now working on a new film called In Search of the Future 2, The Only Way Out is Up, to higher frequency.
Hello, everyone. I am so thrilled today to introduce you to my dear friends, Connie, Baxter, Marlow, and Andrew Bailey. And what I want you to know is that I think we met, I want to say 8 years ago or something, maybe 10 years ago. I don't know how long ago. But I've been huge fans, and I'm so excited to have them on For Soul Illumination, because what you're going to find is that they're original thinkers, and they're going to share how their journey to that. Writers, photographers, filmmakers, futurists, climate solutionaries, and inspirational public speakers. And their exploration into history and using it in a very powerful way to help us for today is why I'm so proud of knowing them, and excited to experience and learn from them some more. So welcome, you guys.
Hello there.
We're so excited to be here on your new show. We love it.
I think we've known each other for at least 12 years.
Oh, it might be. I can't count.
2012 is sort of that pivot point, 2012, and I think we met.
Oh, yeah, maybe before that even.
This is 2024. Can you believe it? I mean, that's crazy.
And we're still conscious. Anyway, so what's really exciting is that you always have incredible projects that you're helping others with, to learn and expand their awareness, expand their knowledge of their possibilities, and co-create with the universe at a really high level. So maybe if you could start, so people could get to know you a little bit about your journey to co-creating together. Maybe that would be a good idea. And then talk about your first book and maybe your first movie. So how about that, Connie? Do you want to start with how, or you or Andrew, how you started this journey together?
Well, we met at a gathering of wisdom keepers at the Omega Institute in 2003. And it was obviously divinely inspired for us to come together, because we got right to work. And within 5 years, we were back at the Omega Institute screening our first film, In Search of the Future, What Do the Wise Ones Know? And we'd been to South Africa, where Andrew's from, and had spent time with the Bushmen of the Kalahari that Andrew had known, and we were welcomed into their hearts and their homes. And we also interviewed various elders whom we'd known for 20 to 40 years. So they're saying amazing stuff in our film, things they don't normally say, and scientists and futurists. So that was our first film that premiered in 2007 at the Harmony Festival. And so we're now working on a new film called In Search of the Future 2, The Only Way Out is Up, to higher frequency. So Do you want to speak about that?
Speaking of frequency, would you pass me that book
Yeah.
over there?
So
There you go, you see? And here is our first book, which relates very strongly to that first movie, and it relates very strongly to this current movie, although we have a different angle on it. We're in the midst of making the sequel to the film In Search of the Future.
yeah, exactly. And it's all about frequency and raising our frequency. So,
And it's all about traveling and finding those people on our beautiful endangered planet who have just somehow, they have this something, we call it wisdom. So the subtitle of the first film was, What Do the Wise Ones Know? So firstly, identify the wise ones. Who are they? Where do you find them? And often that's quite a search. So we have these journeys to go and ask people and say, you know, who would you recommend? And they say, oh, you need to meet so-and-so, and they're in such and such a country. So we do that. So it's quite an adventurous life for us. It's a lot of fun.
yeah, absolutely.
And I
20 years.
I do want to mention that we're newlyweds. So I just want to mention that. So we met 20 years ago, and we just got married. So put that one in your...
And we're going on our honeymoon to Australia to bring in the Aboriginal wisdom into our film. And what this is really all about is for our soul's journey to wholeness. And we have an online course called The Dance of Souls, The Relationship Revolution. And that applies the principles that we bring forth in our Trust Frequency book, which is an indigenous cosmology quantum science synthesis. Okay, so those are some big words, but so the indigenous peoples of the world are carrying keys for us in their connection to the oneness and sacredness of all life. And they've been holding these keys, that connection, for this time right now. And now leading edge science is actually proving what they've known, that we are the conscious loving universe. We're connected to all that is. And every thought we have, every action we take actually affects all of creation. Now that's huge. That's a huge leap from, oh, poor pitiful me, I'm all alone here and nobody loves me kind of thing, to, hey, it's a conscious loving universe. We're all so loved and we're all part of all that is. Do you have anything you want to bring to that?
So it's really about, we were raised in a very strange and interesting way, but a strange way in that the fundamental beliefs, the basic assumptions upon which we grew up, into which we grew, and from which we made the decisions to take the actions, to take the paths we took in our lives, were quite honestly, if they went wrong at the beginning, they're certainly outdated now. They certainly no longer serve us, no longer serve you. And we can change that. What's really cool is that we humans have the built-in ability to change our vibratory state, to change our frequency, okay? If any of you out there are old enough to remember the 60s and the Beach Boys, I'm picking up good vibrations. It's kind of like that kind of, not a science vibration measured in megahertz and all that stuff. It's more, there's a state of, it is a state of consciousness, but I want to say a state of emotion, a state of feeling. We know the difference. If I am depressed and miserable, I know how that feels. And when I'm joyful, when I'm in love, when I'm dancing and singing and free and being myself, I know the difference. And we have this built in. It takes a little bit of training, a little bit of examining some of our beliefs. And once we let go of some of the ridiculous beliefs that we've been programmed to believe, things change radically. First example, and we call it the first assumption, because there's an assumption about the nature of the universe. I'm a science guy. I have all kinds of degrees in physics and chemistry and mathematics and stuff like that. And I was raised to believe that this universe is like a giant machine, like a giant clockwork, and it doesn't even know I exist. It doesn't even know you exist. And we are challenging that. We're saying, how about something that's the polar opposite of that? What if the universe is, in fact, and I believe this to be true, a conscious, loving universe that loves us unconditionally. It's like we're still in our mother's womb, but the mother's much bigger. You could think of it as Mother Earth, Gaia, or you could think of it as the entire universe, just as loving us, holding us, supporting us, guiding us on our path. What a difference that makes when you live in that kind of universe versus living in a cold, dead universe.
And
that's just the first assumption.
Right. And what I want to say is we have to understand the nature of that unconditional love. And that is that it gives us everything we ask for. Now, what are our requests?
What does that mean?
Okay, what does that mean? Okay.
I didn't ask for this disease that I had, COVID or whatever it was. Right?
Okay, but guess what? Everything we ask for, what are our requests? See, it's really energy. It's really vibration. So what determines our vibratory level and thereby our reality? Because the different levels, the different frequencies have different laws. So how we vibrate actually determines the laws that apply to us. Okay, so what are our requests to the universe? And we couch it that way. Our requests to the loving universe, when in fact it really is just physics. Okay, but here are our requests. It's our consciousness. And here are 7 aspects, actually 8 now, we've expanded it. Here are 8 aspects of our consciousness that determine our frequency. And I'm going to say them in one sentence. Okay, so here it goes. And they all begin with the letter A.
So we called them the 7 A's. We used to call them the 7 A's. Apparently, we're now the 8 A's. So now we've got to rewrite the book.
Yeah, Dr. Jude Currivan, one of the top cosmologists and physicists, said, hey, you need to add just one more. And she's totally on board with our trust frequency construct on the conscious loving universe, which is really great to have a top scientist come on board with our construct. So here are the 8 A's. With expanded awareness, we choose our attitude. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me start again. With expanded awareness and accurate assumptions, we choose our attitude. Consciously direct our attention, align with our highest inner promptings, attune to the universal energies, take committed action, which is the kicker, to act in this way, in this alignment with the higher frequency, and allow the loving universe to manifest beyond our wildest dreams. Okay, so that's our request to the universe. And so we apply this to the Dance of Souls, an online course that we have. We apply the trust frequency principles, those first 4 assumptions that we just have spoken of. And our definition of humanity is that we are a collection of divine, autonomous, sovereign beings who have chosen to incarnate on earth on our journey to wholeness, which is self-love, self-acceptance, alignment with our divinity, and our purpose. Okay, so we gave an overarching act of free will when we came on the planet to this conscious loving universe. We said, okay, conscious loving universe, you get to take me on my journey to wholeness, to self-love, self-acceptance, and alignment with my divinity and my purpose. Okay, so everything that happens in our life, every relationship, we have magnetized that behavior from the people in our world and the universe to show us our light, the parts of ourselves we do love, and